Hello and welcome to episode, 3 of the Newbreed Film Reviews podcast. I'm Paul. I got Brian and Dave with me. And
Hello.
Tonight we are going to be talking about our top 3 favorite movies, scary movies between our childhood and adulthood. I think we're going to just do one at a time, round robin type situation, right? Or are we just going to shoot them off all 3 at a time?
No, we'll do round robin and then open them discussion-wise, you know?
Okay. All right. Who wants to start?
I vote Dave.
There
Right.
you go.
Dave, good choice.
All right, so I wrote down my child scary movies and my adult scary movies. As an adult, it's really difficult to creep me out and scare me with a movie because my own mind is very scary.
Agreed.
My brain is scary. But yeah, as an adult, it takes a lot to legitimately scare me. As a kid, like I said, I have quite a few, but I guess with my adult movie, I probably start with first of all, let me spit out kid movies. I'm not even gonna touch on them. I'm just gonna say The Exorcist.
What if I want to touch on them though? What if I want to talk about them?
Oh, okay. Do you want me to spit them
And
out?
go for it.
Do you want me to do it one at a time? Like
Say one.
Yeah.
If we want to talk about it, we'll jump in.
Yeah.
We'll jump in.
All right. So, one of my child's scariest movies was The Exorcist. That's
Dude, scariest shit to watch as a kid.
Number one.
Yeah.
That's my
Dude,
number one movie
yeah,
on my
scary
list.
shit.
So,
I was gonna say
yeah.
that's probably 90% of the population, their childhood. That was a
The thing about that movie is, my mom didn't watch it until she was, however old she is this year. I'm not going to say that. That was like the thing. If any of us even mentioned The Exorcist, she would literally have to cover up her ears and walk in the other room because she would be that scared. And me, for a movie to be that old and have the effect that it's had on people, even kids who are now, to see that movie, like that is the most terrifying movie I think I've ever seen.
You see any of the footage? People used to walk out of the theaters like puking. They used to be puking when they walked out of theaters.
But you know what? By today's standards, like you look at it. Well, actually, to be quite honest, even watching it as an adult, yes, the effects are dated, but it is a legitimately screwed up movie. Like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can watch it and be creeped out. Like there was a scene. She was in a room, and I don't know if there was lightning, the possessed girl, and you see she's casting a shadow, and it looked like a demon or something with wings, with horns. That little mini kind of scene, man, that was a
That's key to that movie. It's subtle little things. They didn't have to go overboard. They didn't need CGI back then. They just pulled the littlest, things. The vomit was pea soup, and it was the creepiest looking vomit I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right.
But
and
check it
just
out.
little shadows, like you said. That's exactly what it was that made it so scary.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out though. That's my childhood. One of my adults, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, and I'm gonna explain why without wasting a lot of breath. That movie Jiggly, whatever, with Ben Affleck and J-Lo. Is that what it's called? Jiggly?
Jilly? The Kevin Smith movie.
No. Serious speaking. I'm dead serious right now. I'm probably going to get a lot of crap for this, get made fun of for it. And I wasn't a kid, and I was pretty young when it came out. The Blair Witch Project. And I'm going to...
That was a good one.
I'm going to explain why.
I agree with you.
When I saw that movie for the first time, I was by myself, home alone, and all the lights were off, so I immersed myself in this
Boston,
movie.
New York.
Yeah, dude. And to me, that movie was kind of groundbreaking for its time because I could be wrong on this, but at the time, they weren't doing movies with the hand cam style. It wasn't really a thing.
No, that spawned all those found footage movies.
That was exactly. That was the found footage film that started everything.
And there was such a buzz behind that movie. I don't know if you guys remember. People were actually debating whether it was real footage or not. It was this weird thing in the air. Was that real? Was that real footage they found? And when you think about it as an adult, how could it be real footage? Common sense. But at the time, that movie really immersed you. And like, when the little babies were like hitting the tent, like the little spirit babies and stuff, dude, there was a lot of scenes that were screwed up. That movie scared the bleep out of me.
I haven't watched that in so long. I think I want to go back and rewatch it. That
Dude.
movie, I was 12 years old, I think, when I watched it for the first time, and I watched it across the street at my neighbor's house, and I had to walk home at night, and I was 12, 13 years old, and I didn't even want to walk across the freaking street because it was dark and the Blair Witch was gonna get me. Like,
dude, I don't want to.
It was a good movie.
And they did such a good. They showed nothing, but they scared the crap out of you.
Mm-hmm. It was what was.
And then they ruined it with the second movie.
Yeah, it was a mind. I didn't even see the second movie.
Terrible.
It was a mind game the whole time, and it worked. It worked.
The movie. I'm gonna shut up right now after couple of sentences. But like, the movie was like a book. It was suggestive. Like, your mind created the fear. Like your mind projected like what you thought the Blair Witch was, what they saw. Cause like, remember when they were in the woods and one of the characters is like, oh my God, what is that? What is that? And they're like running. They don't show what it is, but you assume like. You think like, what are they
need to get the
at?
hell out of there. Like, it's got to be something scary. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's one of my picks. So Blair Witch Project.
That's two of your picks.
Well, I did one kid one. I didn't want to really touch on a kid.
Oh, you're doing, but see, okay. I'm only choosing 3 total. But Blair Witch, that one didn't even cross my mind when I was thinking of my list. So, it's a good idea. Fine.
Okay. I kind of thought about child ones, to be honest. You know, I haven't really watched too many good horror movies lately. So as far as, you know, everybody said like, I can't touch on if someone's going to say The Conjuring or anything like that. I haven't seen that. Everybody said that was really good. And, I might get flack for this too, but a movie that I walked away from that it made me like look over my shoulder or get really creeped out as an adult in my older years, it would be Paranormal Activity.
Ah, that was good. The first one was really good.
I think just the fact of how much, like, it was really cheesy in some parts, you know, like with the Ouija board or whatever like that. That was extremely cheesy.
Dude, you know,
but it was a new take on found footage.
Yeah. But the fact that he keeps messing with you, like, while you're sleeping and they have no idea, like, what's happening while they're sleeping and they really show nothing, you know, it creeped me out. I was at Matt's house and right after I watched the movie, and you know, he had remember in his living room when he used to live above his parents' garage, it went all the way down to where Cameron's room was. It freaked me out the whole time. I was staring down the hallway, like, wondering, like, what was in the darkness down there. So that, like, it got underneath my skin.
I hated that hallway, man. Ever since they put that in there, I was like, I don't want to be near it.
It had its cheesy parts, but it got in the back of your head, like, okay, you know, something could be watching me while I'm sleeping or doing something. It freaked me out.
Dave, I know you have something to say, but just 1 second. Back to the hallway. I'm so glad to hear you say that after watching that movie, you were creeped out looking down that hallway, because there's been many movies I've watched over there and then laid on that side of the couch with my head facing the hallway. Yeah. And just was like, I don't want to look at that.
And you know it's facing the other way. Because like straight through, you know it's facing like into the attic above the house. Yeah. You know, like,
and there's always moths, and the moths would come down and hit me in the face and stuff, and
so it always freaked me out
even more. All right.
Do you know
Dave,
what's funny?
You were gonna say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because we were just talking about the Blair Witch and how it spawned that hand cam style and like non-traditional camera view, and Paranormal Activity is like a documentary. It's that kind of style. So it's ironic you brought that up.
Yeah, and it's funny that that's the stuff that we're pointing out of what's freaking us out. You know why? Because it almost plays in the realm of this could be real. Like, this could be really happening. And I think that's what screws you up more than kind of like a fantasy vampire-y kind of monster world. You know, you're almost in that whole, like, I could be behind the camera and that could be happening to me. So that gives you that weird kind of, that feeling. So that's one of my picks. If I was going to pick a kid's one, dude, Child's Play, Chucky,
that's creepy for an adult movie.
Yeah. And
that's classic. Charles Lee Ray, Dowie Dewey Dembala. Come on, man.
Yeah, when he started doing the voodoo stuff. Yeah. And there was one part, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, where like he's in the basement and he's underneath the stairs and he has like a hook or something. And somebody's walking down the stairs and he like hooks the back of their leg.
Yeah. And they fall downstairs.
Beat Brothers, where my mom used to work, they had stairs that were exactly like that. And every time after I watched that movie, I would run down those stairs as fast as possible so that nothing could hook my leg.
Dude, hands down, Rick James got nothing on Chucky's bitch. When he calls a chick bitch, he'd be like, "You bitch." Like, it is like hardcore.
Yeah. No, Chucky's definitely got that all the way down.
He does.
I don't know. Those movies didn't do it for me
when his
when I
little
was a
legs
kid.
are
They did
kicking.
nothing.
Yeah.
When he's like fighting with someone and his little legs are kicking.
Yeah, or remember the scene where he the guy gets in the car and he puts a plastic bag over his head? Every time I got in the car, I'd look in the back seat to make sure.
Was that the detective when he was jamming the knife up the seat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude, actually, dude, you just reminded me of another crazy movie, Fright Night. That guy was the lead in Fright Night.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
Those are mine. Paulie, you go ahead now.
Good movie.
All right. So we talked about The Exorcist was my favorite. That was my number one choice. You actually touched on it, Brian, but you haven't seen it. The Conjuring is probably my second choice. My two other than The Exorcist, one's more of an adult one's more of when I was younger, around the Blair Witch time. So I'll go with The Conjuring first. As far as a modern horror paranormal movie goes, this one is great. I didn't watch Annabelle. I heard they ruined it with Annabelle. Sequels usually suck, but Conjuring creeped me out all the way through. The only movie I can think of recently that it reminds me of is Insidious, or Insidious, however you say it. And I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah, it was okay, dude. It
was cool up until the spoilers. There's a the devil, I guess, is playing some weird piano with like 50s music in the background in his den in the dream world in Insidious.
I think it's Insidious.
Insidious, that's what I thought. Once they got to that point, it kind of like took away from it. However,
I dug it. I mean, I didn't think it was mind blowing, like really scary, but it was better than
Are you talking about The Conjuring or are you talking about Insidious?
Oh, Insidious. I thought that Insidious was better than Conjuring. That's what I thought anyway, but
I think you're wrong.
I haven't seen either, so I can't weigh a vote in.
Ah.
I do. Well, I'm kind of like waiting for it to come on Netflix, but the only thing on there is Conjuring
Insidious
2.
was on Netflix.
No, and Insidious 2 and Conjuring are just not on there. Insidious 2 is on there. So I didn't want to watch Insidious 2 because I wouldn't saw the first one.
You wouldn't get a story because they literally tie in. Insidious 2 was good too.
Well, yeah, I wanted to check it out. It just hasn't got there. So
it was less like a sequel and more like an extension of the first one. That's why I think it worked.
Everybody said check out The Conjuring though over Insidious.
I got it on Blu-ray, kid. Why don't you come down and borrow it?
I will. I'll walk down and borrow it.
Insidious had that, like, I'm not a big fan of this style. It has the movie doesn't really scare you. What scares you is the loud music and the pops that happen. Like something will just
There's a lot of time spent in the dark.
Yeah, or like the music gets really loud and something just goes by the screen. Like, to me, that's my least favorite scary movie, when they use effects to scare you as opposed to like the story and, you know what I mean?
Right.
But so yours is The Conjuring?
Yeah, since The Exorcist was already used up, I'm just gonna go with my one adult and my one childhood one. So my adult one would be The Conjuring, was the creepiest one for me.
Okay.
Childhood, Darkness Falls. Now, I don't know if you guys remember Darkness Falls.
I used to always be afraid of going in the dark after that movie. I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
I mean, I was old enough to know that the Tooth Fairy was fake at that point.
Yeah.
But for them to, another spoiler, but for them, if you haven't seen it by now, fuck it, you don't deserve the spoilers alarm because
you've been in a cave.
It's like 15 years ago this movie came out. But, the Tooth Fairy was evil.
Yeah.
That chick was bad, man. And
how they played off like it being in the light and supposed to be in the dark and stuff.
Yeah, that movie was scary. It was straight up scary. And,
I remember
and now looking back on it, that was probably scarier than the Blair Witch for me. There was just something about it that just creeped me out.
I remember when I used to my buddy used to live up the road from my grandparents' house, and after we saw that movie, we had to go to my grandparents' house, and it was nighttime, and there's street lights all the way, but there's breaks in the street lights. So I remember we'd have to run between the street lights, to make sure we were in the light right after we saw like the movie a day or so. creeped us out, you know?
I could definitely believe that, man.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of another movie. It wasn't a pick, but it was pretty groundbreaking, I would say. Like I'll bring it up when it's my go, but I'm not gonna touch on it.
Well, it is your go
I
now,
believe
sir.
it's your turn, sir. Yeah, it's your go.
All right. So, my second round of picks, I'm gonna say Child Scary without going into it. Just gonna bring it up. So I said The Exorcist. I'm gonna say some of these might be obscure. This one might be Day of the Dead. It's like an old school zombie movie by George Romero.
George Romero. That's
And,
in the Dawn of the Dead series, right?
Yeah, it's Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. I don't know if it's in that order, but Day of the Dead scared the shit out of me as a kid. It was so gratuitously, is that a word? Yeah. Gory. Like, I mean, in old school 80s, so they use like animatronics and like real, like physical things that ripping apart. Like, it was like disturbing. Like, people getting ripped apart. Like, if you think Walking Dead is bad, for an 80s movie, this shit was like messed up. And if you're like 6 years old, you're gonna need therapy as an adult.
Shouldn't have been watching it.
My family should have, exactly, dude. But I sat there in tears watching this movie. But anyway, oh yeah, okay, just one more thing on it. The vibe of it, cause they were like underground and it was like this vibe of like despair throughout the whole movie, like no winning. It was just like a dark movie. But that's Child Scary. And then Adult Scary.
Hold on, can I stop you for a second? Ryan, what are you looking up? I keep looking and I see you look at the screen, then look back at your other screen, looking at the screen, and you're like clearly looking something up. So what are you doing, sir?
I'm refreshing myself on, you guys have piqued my interest on some of the older movies.
Nice.
So I'm looking
that
up.
was what I wanted out of this. That's why I was so excited about doing this topic.
I was looking up,
all these movies were going to start coming up.
80s horror films. I was trying to remember them all. So I'm looking at the top 100.
This dude right here was the hero. I'm going to show you right now. Oh man, can't get it to load up. That sucks.
Well, put it, well, where are you on the bottom screen? Point to what side of the screen you're going to put it on.
Of course.
Yeah, once, you're going to send us whatever you're going to show us, but for the rest of the people who are watching this, he'll have it posted on here.
Bub for president.
Yeah.
Smartest zombie ever. Actually, smartest zombie ever. Tarman.
Tarman is the smartest
Return
zombie
the
ever.
Living Dead. Me and Bright talk about this shit. This dude
with his apple noises.
This dude has an understanding of fucking levers and shit and like
he
puzzles.
He can like take rope and like launch the rope on the screen and make a pulley system to open a door to eat someone. He's the smartest zombie ever.
This is a zombie?
Yeah.
He's a zombie, dude.
I gotta watch
He's like
shit.
dripping. His name is Tarman. He comes from a barrel. I think he was like MacGyver in like the living world.
Yeah.
Don't you have the whole George Romero like set?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't have them all.
Oh, I thought you had them all.
No.
Bastard, alright.
I don't have that one. Actually, I think I might. Dave, I think you got me that one.
That
was on
Then
Night
you
of the
borrowed
Living
it back, and now he's in Florida, so you're never getting it again.
Return of the Living Dead.
Return of the Living Dead, yeah.
Yeah, the little midget zombie in it. Send more cops.
Send more paramedics.
Yeah. Okay, dude, so adult movie.
That's cheesy horror film though, so that's not like a scary one.
It's not scary, it's more funny.
No. Yeah.
So my adult pick, I said Day of the Dead, and then I'm trying not to be long-winded because I'll be ranting. As an adult, I'm not even bullshitting you. Like, I'm probably gonna get shit for this.
You said that last time too.
No, but okay, to me, this shit freaked me out, and it's hard to freak me out.
Just say the fucking movie.
Sinister. Sinister.
I didn't watch it.
Dude, Sinister is a legitimately effed up movie. Like, if you watch
isn't
this
it
movie,
more of a thriller than it is,
nah,
like
dude.
scary movie?
Nah, dude.
Is that the one, that's the one with Ethan Hawke, right?
Yeah, dude. Sinister is, I mean, there's some parts that kind of got a little, I wouldn't say cheesy, but, some parts were less creepy, but like, there are a lot of scenes in that damn movie. Like, even the theme of it, it's just, I recommend it. Like, for a legitimately creepy ass movie that's gonna send shivers up your spine, watch Sinister in the dark and just kind of like immerse yourself into it. As an adult, it takes a lot to like make me look at the screen like, Oh my god, this is like twisted, and it made me do that. Oh, and The Ring. You guys reminded me of The Ring. I wasn't going to touch on
Oh,
it,
that was good.
but I was thinking about
That
The
was
Ring.
good.
That was an innovative, creepy movie, which is a remake from Japan, a Japanese movie. Ringu.
Ring, ring. Hello. Hey, you got 7 days. Okay, bye.
You have 7 days to
And
live.
then they die. And
7
they're
days
dead.
to live.
Dude, whoever wrote that was a cool story. You watch the tape.
Yeah, it was
and then
someone
the
over
phone
in
rings.
Japan, though. As most of the good movies that end up here, and we're like, oh, that's really good as far as horror movies go, and then you find out that it was actually originally in Japan, like The Grudge, which
Yeah,
I didn't
Grudge.
love The Grudge, but
that the chick with the long
it was
hair?
a big movie.
Yeah,
Sarah Michelle Gellar was in that movie, right?
I think so.
She
Or
was
someone
kinda
that
hot.
looked like her.
She was hot back in the day.
She
Yeah.
was beautiful back in
Even
the day.
with
I don't know what
that
happened to her
weird-
now, but
With that weird pinch nose, it just did. It worked for her. I don't know.
It did
you
work.
love noses too, so.
I do. But it have to be a specific kind of nose. It can't be no big old giant nose. It gotta be like a defined European nose. I'm feeling it. Which is kind of funny because my girl now doesn't have a big defined nose.
She can
She's
grow
sitting
one.
right
She
next
can
to
grow
you.
one for you.
But you can't have them all.
Alright, is it my go? Is it my go now?
Your turn.
All right, so childhood movie. I was just trying to look it up right now because I couldn't remember which Freddy Krueger film it was. It's the one where Kevin Bacon.
The
Is it?
Baconator.
Davey,
Is it-
do you know?
Kevin
is the-
Bacon? Or is Kevin Bacon in Friday the 13th movies?
No, Freddy Krueger.
No, Johnny Depp was in the old Freddy Krueger movies. I don't think it was Kevin Bacon, dude. I think Kevin Bacon was in one of the old Friday
No,
the 13th.
he was in Camp Nowhere. You're right. It's Johnny Depp, right?
It was
Camp
Johnny
Nowhere.
Depp. Johnny Depp is the one where his bed turns into like bloody liquid or something. He gets pulled
That-
out, right?
That's exactly the one that freaked me the hell out as a kid. man.
Camp Nowhere is the movie
Crystal.
with Christopher Lloyd where they
No, Bacon was in Friday the
where
13th.
the kid sets up
Crystal
a fake
Lake.
camp and all the kids
Camp
get their
Crystal-
parents' money. I
Camp
actually have
Crystal
that
Lake.
on DVD. I like
Is
that
it Camp
movie.
Crystal Lake, right?
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, that's
You're
the
right.
Friday the 13th movie.
Sorry. All right. So I'm mixing them up right now.
We have Crystal Lake Road right down the street from us, man.
The one where Johnny Depp gets pulled through in the bed, dude. After I watched that movie, I got so freaked out that Freddy Krueger was gonna shove it up and pull me down through the bed and the cannon of blood that comes up the middle of that bed.
Dude,
it
Freddy
fills the
was
whole room.
boss.
Yeah, that as a kid, I was so freaked out with that. Now he's cheesy. If you go back and watch it.
You know the Freddy
I
Krueger
love
movie,
Freddy,
the
dude.
original one, actually started from a true story.
Did it?
Yeah, there was this kid, I guess, who kept having nightmares. And then one day they woke up, or they found him like dead, and he had scratches all over him. And they said that it couldn't have been caused from the outside, or from himself. And the door was like padlocked on the outside, so there was no way for like the dad to get in there. Well, I guess he could have if he locked himself in, but they didn't find like any evidence that he had done it. It was weird. So then someone wrote a movie about it.
Oh, somebody wrote a ton of movies about it.
Yeah. Well, the original one was based
Freddy's
on that. The
Dead,
rest
the
of them
Final
were just
Nightmare.
spin-offs.
Yeah.
That was in
Freddy
the last
vs.
one,
Jason
right?
in space.
Oh yeah, Freddy versus Jason.
They went to Mars.
There was Wes Craven's New Nightmare, which is kind
They
of
did the remake.
yeah, it was weird. It wasn't like Freddy. It was a spirit that possessed a Freddy props or character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Yeah.
the movie, it was like a real demon that got into
Yeah.
the character. It was a weird take on it.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
All right, so my adult film. This is like probably like 10 years ago, but I still if you guys have ever seen this, The Descent. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah,
I
don't know,
have
dude.
both the original version and the new version of it.
Yeah. There's a newer version besides the one with like.
No, the one I mean the original was like 80s, I think,
Oh, no.
maybe 70s,
For real,
and then
dude? I
the
didn't know that
remake.
was a remake.
I didn't know it was a remake either.
Same
But-
thing. The three girls go spelunking right into a cave.
Whoa.
Spelunking into a cave.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey,
What's that?
I'm not watching them NR rated.
And there's like
you know?
a cave in or something. And they just have to keep going deeper to find it.
Well, they get caved in.
To
Yeah.
find a way out.
Yeah. I think it's like the characters, they, like the creatures, I think it's just that whole fact of that movie, like you just feel claustrophobic when you're inside of
Yeah.
it. And if you let
can-
yourself get like immersed in the movie, and you just have that claustrophobic feeling of like you're not getting out of there, and there's like these creatures in the shadows and stuff like that. Yeah. It would just kind of, not to say like it's not definitely in the same category as like Paranormal Activity or Exorcist or anything like that for me, but it creeped you out. It really creeped you out when you were watching it. So that's definitely one of mine.
I thought the monsters are kind of lame, dude.
They
look cheesy, like dudes in rubber suits.
Yes. I think the cooler part of it was they played it off really good until they showed them, you know?
Yeah. They're just like ball-headed Nosferatu looking dudes.
Yeah. It still gave you like that weird, the feeling of like you're just locked in and you're stuck. And
don't hate on Nosferatu. That is still, I think, one of the creepiest vampires. I mean, like square teeth. Imagine being bitten with those square teeth, dude. Ouch.
I don't know, dude. To be honest, I never seen the old school one. You know what was a good vampire movie? It's called Let the Right One In, and it's whoa, Paul. What was that?
No, I'm saying that's a good name. That's a really good name, and hopefully it would live up to its expectations, because with a name like that, it's gotta be freaking scary.
It was good, dude. It was very different. It was this little boy, like spoilers, but there was like this little boy, and he befriends this girl. It's like this little 12-year-old girl, and she's actually a vampire. And it sounds lame, but it was kind of like Kick-Ass, where you think you're gonna watch a movie that's kind of like a kid movie or not as bad, and it was actually pretty crazy, like gory.
The movie was a Kick-Ass movie, or you were comparing it to the movie Kick-Ass? Because I actually enjoyed the movie Kick-Ass. I thought it was way better than I expected it to be.
Comparing it to Kick-Ass in a sense that you're gonna see something that's tame, and like you watch, you're like, whoa, like people getting lit on fire, and like,
yeah, that was exactly my expectations of Kick-Ass. I was like, oh, this is gonna be kind of lame, but you know, I'll watch it for a good chuckle. It's a super bad crew. And then I watched it and I was like, this is actually really funny.
Yo, but Bram Stoker's, is it Strokers or Stokers?
Stoker.
Stroker.
Bram Stoker is the originator of Dracula, yeah.
That's a good one. With Gary Oldman.
Well, I was just talking about the books that started it all back in the old days. Because modern vampires are not what they originally were. Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Dracula Untold, garbage.
Oh, that's right. You said that. That came out last year, right?
It came out fairly recent.
I think you even did one on our Facebook page. Facebook.com/Newbreed Film Reviews. I don't know if that's the right address.
Shameless plug.
I don't know if that's the right address, but
I think it's Facebook.com/Newbreed Film Reviews, right? Yeah.
Makes sense. Check it out. We have some movie. Dave is like the guy who does reviews on that page. We all chip in every once in a while, but Dave sees so many movies that he's constantly writing reviews. So if you want a good, honest opinion, he will give it to you.
Yeah, he definitely outranks us on movie watching.
And that's how we actually decided to start this podcast, because we wanted to tell people. Yeah, we wanted to tell people. We wanted to put voices with the names on the page. We wanted to put, you know, video and picture to names on a page, because people like that shit.
That was the whole motivation of like you said, Paul, like with a Facebook page, and that was the motivation of like our channel now. Like it was like reviews from like regular people, like dudes, you know, like you know, honest opinions on stuff.
Right.
Not no uptight movie critic that's expecting like Oscar, you know, performances from like a movie like The Expendables. You know what I mean? Like you go to see Expendables to see a brainless action movie, and if you look at it for what it is, you're gonna love it. If you expect Stallone to bust out some tearjerker scene, you know, you're gonna shit on it.
Done.
But
well, gentlemen,
what'd you pick?
We're reaching our time, I think. I think we're at our time.
We still got like 5 minutes to target.
Okay.
We still got each our movies, right?
Yeah, Paul just dropped. That's your second one, right, Paul?
Well, yeah, I didn't really mention a movie there. I just interrupted you when you were talking about a movie, Dracula movie.
Is that
I was talking about The Descent, and then you guys started talking about.
Oh, that's what happened.
Totally went off topic.
So my movies are done. My movies are done.
I got one more.
I named all mine. I picked 3 movies for the day. I thought we were only doing 3.
I got 2 more to talk about that I can touch on.
By all means, I'll gladly interrupt both of you.
So you go,
All right. So, as a kid, within all the slasher films, you know, you have, Freddy, you have Jason, you have Mike Myers, you know.
Mike Myers.
Mike Myers, out of all of them,
Dude, that's my favorite.
freaked me out, man. He freaked me out more than all of them.
Halloween
I think it was
1 and 2
because almost he had like that real kind of, like he wasn't so, I mean like, yeah, the music gets you no matter what.
Yeah, even now I hear that and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, but he almost had like that crazy, like real guy that could be down the road, you know, like you could run into him and it could be really happening. You know, he could escape from the mental asylum and then go on the killing.
You just triggered a movie for me, thank you.
There was something off with him though. Like that dude was strong as hell. He took like 5 shots, fell off a balcony, came back in part 2. But part 1 and part 2 are like one movie. Those are absolute classics, man. Like Donald Pleasance, the doctor,
20 years later,
kick-ass performance. Jamie Lee Curtis did good. That was the boogeyman. Like, remember, like, that was a classic, dude.
All right. So, what's yours, Dave?
Oh, I just want to say William Shatner's like twisted face. You know that's William Shatner's mold, right?
Yeah, it's his face cast. Yep.
That shit's insulting in a way. Like, like. They use a face cast of William
to make him
Shatner.
a serial killer.
Yeah, with like no eyebrows and it's one of the most iconic, scariest faces, you know? Mm-hmm. Look at the bullcrap they came out with in the 90s, the Scream face. Like a freaking
I love that, man. I wore that for Halloween for like 5 years in a row.
Dude, Michael Myers mask.
That was my favorite movie for so long.
Bro, you gotta back me up. Michael Myers mask versus the Scream mask. The Scream mask is like a bizarro version of the Michael Myers mask.
Yeah.
Well, Michael Myers mask is only scary because it's of an actual person's face mold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, the Scream mask wasn't supposed to be that. It represented something totally different.
It's Michael Myers on heroin.
More like mushrooms or acid.
Yeah.
But I digress.
Okay,
let's.
So, all right.
I have one more too. I have one more I can touch on it super fast right now.
Too,
okay. So my other one, it's obviously not, it's in the horror category, but it's usually not in the horror category. And one of my all-time favorite movies, I'd have to say Jaws. It made you scared to go in the water and go swimming. It really did.
I can't believe you didn't say that earlier.
Yep. That's one of my all-time favorites and it freaks you out when you watch it and then you go swimming, you know, so it does the trick for you. All right. I'm done.
Yeah. Jaws is a good pick, dude. That was one of those, it's just the all-time classic, like you said. Like, you have movies that they come out and they change the way people think and they have like a lasting forever impression, like in society. So like after Jaws came out, people were afraid to go into the water. Even though it's a movie, people were afraid to go in the water. That's when you know you got a legitimately freaking hit. You know what I mean? Like it did something to the public. That's like The Exorcist, another one. It just did something to the public. Like it changed, I wouldn't say changed society, but it affected the way people think, you know?
Right.
Okay, so my third pick, I have no more kid movies. My third pick is The Thing.
Of course.
Actually, you know
I saw that one coming. I saw that one coming a million miles away.
You know what? I can't say, as an adult, I appreciate it because I think it's a masterpiece. The old Thing, the 1982 version. The new one it paid good homage and it was respectable. The old one, as an adult, I respect it as like a masterpiece of atmosphere and environment because there's so much going on in that movie. The concept is so freaking awesome. Like, spoilers, like Paul said, if you haven't seen The Thing, you can go kill yourself. Like,
I don't think I used those words, but
I don't really mean that.
Right.
Like, but if you haven't seen The Thing, that's just like it's a sad thing. No pun intended. Yeah, it's, there's so much going on to it. The effects were groundbreaking at the time. I think it was Rob Bottin, I think is his name, did the effects. I could be mistaken. John Carpenter, I think he wrote it. That was like his baby. The theme music was perfect for it. It was very simple, creepy vibe. The concept of like a alien buried under the ice, this American team in Antarctica like stumbles upon this ship, and like this Norwegian team already found it, but they didn't know that. And it's like this shape-shifting alien. It basically like it absorbs you. I got an inside joke with Brian, that's why I'm cracking up. I will absorb you.
Going to absorb you?
But yeah, it absorbs you.
That's
and
the funniest shit ever.
And it takes your form. So not only do you have these grotesque scenes of like people getting devoured and the gore aspect, but you have a paranoia aspect because these guys are isolated in Antarctica and you don't know who's who. You know, it's like, I was gonna crack a bad joke right now. Let me not, cause we're trying to keep it PG-13. Never mind.
I loved the original. I thought the original was great. I never saw the remake, but I definitely
the remake,
even read the book.
The remake, as far as whenever you do prequels or anything like that, usually they're not as good, but it strictly just paid full credit. There wasn't, the cool part in the movie is that you never know what happened. They find the aftermath, and the new movie shows you. Yeah, the old movie. It shows you what happened in the aftermath, and then the new one shows you what the first team came across, what the American team came across. So it's cool.
So it was a prequel made 30 years almost later.
Yeah, dude. It was, and I'm a huge fan, so like I was gonna critique the hell out of it. And Brian, we went to go see it, and I was like so excited. And it's like Bryce said, Paul, like, in the original movie, well, actually the original's black and white. They remade it. John Carpenter remade it. The original was like a black and white with like a Frankenstein plant monster looking dude. And the whole concept is based off of like an old short story called Who Goes There? I think that's what it's called. But, the one with John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, they go to this Norwegian base to investigate.
I thought this was a Stephen King book.
No, dude.
It wasn't? I'm thinking of
pretty
something
sure it's
different
not.
then.
Yeah. But they go to
I saw the movie and I hear the premise and I've definitely seen that, but I thought I read the book and I'm wrong. So.
Yeah, like, Kurt Russell, that movie, they go to this Norwegian base and they see like Bryce said, it pays homage cause like minor details, like there's scenes like where there's
like an axe, axe in the wall and you don't know what happened with the axe. And then in the new movie, they showed you how the axe got there, so it's kind of cool.
They show like this,
that's cool.
Yeah, dude, they paid attention to detail. Like, there's like this like big, block of ice where something like busted out. They show that. They show like one weird dude, like, they never explain what the hell happened to him. It's like a cult kind of thing, like his throat is like slit. Some guy sitting in a chair, and it's like why would they randomly show a frozen dude sitting in a chair with his throat slashed? Like, but they explain that they tied in so much, and not to completely spoil it, but they link it so well at the end of the new prequel, the 2011 one. Right, Brian? Like, you remember the last scene?
They just tie it right in.
You could literally watch the 2011 one and pop in the 1982, and it's like one whole movie. Like,
it just amazing. continues right away. Yep.
But Paul,
I'm gonna have to do that.
I will watch 82 first, where Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell's
I want to do that. I want to rewatch.
That's what we did.
So
we watched it, rewatched it, and then went to see it in the theaters. Yep.
And kind of disregard the old effects and just kind of try to immerse yourself in the concept of the movie.
I like that stuff though, so I'll take that in.
But that's my third pick. The thing.
Do you guys remember? And I know you will. Jeepers Creepers.
Yes,
dude.
That was one of the that was good, especially like when they did the reveal of the actual creature. Usually that is the biggest letdown in every horror movie. But I actually thought they did a really good job with the creeper. I thought the entire premise behind him was terrifying.
Yep.
The immortality of him, just the stuff that he could do. It wasn't so like beyond the imagination that you're like, come on, that's so unrealistic. But
Michael Jackson
just over that line.
Michael Jackson was able to replace parts and just keep living.
Not for very long. Not for very long.
Especially that basement. The basement that he has. Oh, the basement in the church. That's like super creepy.
You know what was the scariest? The truck.
Yeah.
The truck scared me because it was just so fast.
his
and
license
it
plate.
was so beat up, and yeah.
Dude,
So
to just comment on Jeepers Creepers, like, real quick, I just want to say that it's so difficult to, create a new character that is, like, very different. Hold on, I gotta say goodnight to a little one. Hold on 1 second.
David's playing daddy.
See you tomorrow. Say hi to the Newbreed crew.
Hi.
Hi.
Good night. But, yeah, what I was saying was, it's so hard to make a new lasting character that's original and has potential to, like, start its own franchise. And I'm gonna say that the what's his name? The Creeper? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he
was
cool. He was like
Yep.
a Freddy. He was like a new Jason. And I think they did good with part 2, but they dropped the ball. They let the franchise slip.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah, that was one of the sequels that I think they did well in keeping up with the original. And yeah, they definitely, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they purposely stopped there because they didn't want it to ruin a good thing like so many other.
Yeah, dude, but the second one
times
ended with
they've done
they ended with a cliffhanger. They needed to continue it. Cause like
Good.
the old guy stopped him, and then he comes back every 27 years or something.
You know what happens when you leave a movie with a good finale and everything's okay? You forget about it. You need that cliffhanger to keep you remembering that movie. Like, man, I really wonder what happened. And then you still have that word, which means that people who didn't see it, now they're gonna see it because even 10 years down the road, it's still like, oh, this movie you should watch. You know, and they're still getting DVD sales and all that.
The only gripe I have about Jeepers Creepers, is Justin Long. I can't stand the dude. I think he's like Shia LaBeouf to me. I just can't stand him. I think he sucked in Die Hard. The new Die Hard, he sucked. I can't stand the guy.
I disagree with you. I think he was a great character for the film.
I think he worked great in that movie.
He was annoying.
How he freaks out, like how he freaked out.
Bad acting.
Good.
Bad acting, dude. I disagree.
I disagree with you.
The chick was okay. She was kind of cute too, but she was a bad actress also. But yeah, good pick, man.
Fairly low budget, man. So,
all right, gentlemen.
That's it.
That's it.
All right. Until next week, make sure you check out the other shows if you haven't.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our Facebook page.
Make sure you check out. Yep.
Do you guys want to?
What's the email address again?
I kind of screwed it up the first episode. I don't even remember it. I think it's newbreedfilmreviews2014@gmail.com.
Just show it. Put it right there on the screen.
Yeah. Scroll to the bottom or whatever so people can email us any kind of topics you might want to talk about, questions, concerns, comments, whatever.
Yeah. You guys have your own opinions on scariest movies, you know, ones we haven't seen, ones we haven't talked about. So, you know, you can always tell us what yours were. So
let us know what you want to see so that way this is all for you to appeal to. We need you guys to enjoy this and keep coming back for more. So
that concludes this is episode 3, right?
Yes.
Episode 3,
Episode 3, new and improved PG-13 version.
I think it went well. So.
Yes.
I don't have to put the YouTube video as a mature audience now.
Oh, you know what I saw? Look, watch it. Look at this. Look at the rating that this gets. This is the
PG,
original movie poster.
Wow, dude. Are you serious?
Yep.
When the fisherman got bit in half?
Yep.
That's PG.
This is the original movie poster, and it's PG rating.
Dude, things are way more hardcore back then.
If you say fuck more than one time, you automatically get an R rating.
Uh-huh.
The MPAA only allows one fuck per PG-13 movie.
You know something, though? Like, okay, you say that about movies, Paul, and I agree with you. But think about what's on network television and cable these days.
Mm-hmm.
They curse.
Cable.
Yep.
Dude, they show gore. Right. Like, I never thought that things would get to the point they are now. It is ridiculous. Like, if I had kids, I would, yeah, man.
Almost.
Yeah. I don't need any kids. I'm a big kid.
This is true. So.
All right, gentlemen.
All right, fellas. Great night.
Great night. Great show. Adios.
Yeah.